Greetings, fellow seekers of the supernatural. I'll be your guide through the mysterious realm. In each episode, we'll unravel spine-tingling tales, explore haunted locations, and delve into the inexplicable. Brace yourselves for encounters with restless spirits, cryptids, and things that defy logic. So dim the lights, grab your sage, and join us as we peer into the dark. Because the truth is stranger than fiction. Subscribe now and remember, the paranormal is among us.
Hey everybody, welcome to Paranormal Among Us. I am outside. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm outside. It's a little windier than I had thought. I got some people cutting grass on the other side of the fence. So, let me know if you can hear me, and then we can get going. I see I have a guest already in the backstage. Before we get to Adam here, I want to let you guys know that we'll be on Saturday evenings at 8 p.m. this coming Saturday. I wrote it down. I wouldn't forget. Here it is. Ava Benari is going to be on this Saturday. She is an exorcist. Some awesome stories about how she's helped spirits move on. Pretty interesting stuff. So we will get to her on Saturday. Krista and I will be here. Before we get to Adam, thank you all for watching. Hey, Val, how you doing? Watching on your lunch break. Hope everybody's doing great out there. What do you have to eat, Val? Maybe you can share. Again, before we get to Adam, I wanted to do a quick story here on Cape Girardeau. This happened a few years before Roswell happened, and Cape Girardeau doesn't get a whole lot of attention, and this will just be real quick. So they don't know the exact date. Some people say April 12th, 1941. Some people say mid to late April. So we're just going to go with mid to late April. That kind of covers everything. This was a Southern Baptist minister named Reverend William Huffman. They were in their living room entertaining guests around 8 or 9 o'clock at night. Got a phone call. They don't know. This was an interview that I found with his granddaughter, Charlotte Mann, on ufoevidence.org. They don't know if it was the police calling or whoever's property the crash happened on. But they asked him if he would come and help with recovery or anything and pray for anybody that was hurt that might have needed it. So, according to Charlotte, he was gone for quite a while. And when he did come back, he told them that he has something to tell them, but they can never, ever repeat this. This, again, was back in 1941, 83 years ago. Hey, Mickey. So apparently when Reverend Huffman got to the crash site, he saw a saucer-type object. It wasn't a plane like they had said. They saw a saucer-type object that was broken in half, broken open. And when he gets to the crash site, he sees 3 creatures laying on the ground. As he approaches them, he realizes 2 of them have already passed on. And he was praying for all of them, obviously. And then he got to the 3rd victim, and it was still alive, still breathing. And he held it in his hand. He said it was about 4 feet tall. Couldn't find any good pictures of this. She said that there was a picture that her grandfather had taken, but I couldn't find any good pictures of it that looked real. I found a few of them that were fake, but I want to put those out there. So he's praying for this alien creature, whatever you want to call it, and it dies in his arms. So there was other people around, neighbors who might have seen the crash site. And this is a sketch that somebody found. Somebody had of 2 people holding this alien up, wide arms, approximately 4 feet tall. And in this interview, as Reverend Huff explained to his granddaughter, he mentioned what it looked like, and like this little drawing set showed, long face, slanted dark eyes, slits for nose, and a mouth slit. She said it reminded her of years later, she saw the book Communion, here it is, by Whitley Strieber. And she said, this is very, very similar to what her grandfather said the alien looked like. Years later, I mean, no one knows what happened to the saucer. Shortly after grandfather arrived, the U.S. government took over and instructed everyone to leave the area and never speak of this again, which is common for the government to do. Very similar to what happened in Roswell. But with Roswell, we believe that they took debris to, I can't remember the name of the Air Force Base in Ohio and possibly Area 51 as well. So, no one really knew where all the damaged parts went. But it's 83 years ago this month. Today is April 16th. Yesterday was tax day. I hope you guys got your taxes in. But 83 years ago today was the crash, and this month was a crash in a UFO, alleged crash in Cape Girardeau. Very interesting stuff. Not a whole lot of it is on the internet, so it's hard to find information on it, but it's interesting. It would be interesting to see more, and I'll continue to do some digging on this. So anyway, a little bit about today's show. I wanted to Wright-Patterson. Thank you, Val. Wright-Patterson Airfield in Ohio. It is in Ohio, correct? I believe it is. A little bit about the show. I want to do a little something different, get out there, another live show. I figured, you know what? It's a nice day. We're getting into summer. It's nice out, although it's a little windy out. I'm going to do Paranormal from the Patio. I tried to have the camera shoot out towards the yard, but it was really bright out and it really burned everything out. So we'll just go this way. So I do have a guest coming on. Let's bring Adam out.
Can you hear
Adam,
me?
how you doing?
I'm
hear
good.
you fine.
I have some good stories that I've been to. Have you heard of Gettysburg?
From Gettysburg?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I saw a Civil War veteran, a ghost full body operation of a Civil War veteran.
Was this on the battlefield?
Yeah. No, I at a cemetery on a ghost hunting tour at 3 a.m.
3 a.m.
Yeah.
So I've seen images, videos, pictures of looked like a Confederate soldier walking by a cannon, and it was obviously an apparition.
Yeah,
is that sort of similar to what you saw?
No, he was looking down at his fallen inmate at his grave, and he looked up and waved to me when I was passing by in my mom's car.
Really?
Yes.
Did you happen to get the name of this?
No, it was like we're doing our 3 a.m. ghost tour with my girlfriend at that time, and then I had like another experience, a full EVP whisper in my ear.
Really? Explain that situation before you say what was in the air. Where were you?
I was like at Gettysburg, or where I heard the apparition voice.
Really? Okay.
I had I was like at Gettysburg. I was in my mom's car when I looked up at the Civil War ghost veteran, and he just waved at me, and then I kind of freaked out a little bit.
Did it do anything besides wave? Did it come at you,
No.
Or did you see it walk away?
It just disappeared.
Did you see it? Did you see it walk up?
Oh no, he was just like it was staring at his like fallen soldier's gravesite.
Okay. What did it look like? Did it have a?
I saw the full clothing, hat, and the body and legs and full body form.
Really? I mean, did it have a soldier hat on and everything?
Yes.
Really? Real quick before I go on, I have Greg Ogles in chat, and Greg, looking forward to that documentary that you shot. It's from what I've seen of your last one. This one's going to be awesome, and I've heard stories that he had just captured a lot of great evidence. So look for that in December. All right, Adam. Now you said you had the EVP. What did the EVP say to you?
I heard it. I was at Governor's Bridge Road with my neighbor. It was like a woman saying, "Thank you, clear as day." At night.
At night, yeah.
Yeah, clear as day. Thank you. And then there's like a lot of stories about Governor's Bridge Road.
Where's that at?
It's like in Bowie. It's supposed to be haunted.
Where you live right now?
I live in Churchton.
Okay, where is this at that you saw this or heard this?
I was with my neighbor, and he and I were doing a little bit of ghost hunting on the bridge, and I lived really close to Governor's Bridge Road.
Awesome. Cool stuff. What else do you have?
And I've at one point when I came downstairs at night and moved the night, I heard like three loud taps and to get drinking water, and then saying, "Get out of my house." Like an evil entity saying, "Get out."
And this was at your house?
Yes, and I was freaked out.
So yeah. So a lot of times when you hear three taps like that, and it's usually something demonic that's mocking. Three taps is mocking the Holy Trinity. The Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. So a lot of times that's what happens. Did you get marked at all, or just had the EVP? No mark.
No, I am. I stay away from that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I do have a question on here for you. Somebody asked, "Do you have a history of these gifts? Have you experienced?"
Yes, I have heard a lot of ghosts in a lot of entities.
Anything more severe than just the knocks, or
no? But I did capture one EVP. It was after my girlfriend had passed, and saying she's okay.
Oh, your girlfriend passed.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Do you think it was her?
Yeah, she was checking up on me, saying she's okay, and I'm doing okay.
Where did you hear this?
On my iPad, saying Amanda, and I'm okay.
You have an app on your iPad, or?
Mm-hmm. I have many ghost apps on my iPad. So
you obviously seem very interested in this kind of stuff. How long have you been interested in this stuff? And
quite a few years. I've watched all ghost hunting shows, and also a lot of I've been really into like the paranormal.
And you said that you've done ghost hunts before. Have you done a lot of them?
I've wanting to do like a lot more and start my own ghost hunting team.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. I got a question here, Adam. Did you do any type of comparison after the ghost vanished, like sending someone over to compare transparency?
No. There's like we were on a time limit of the ghost hunting.
Oops, got that one back on. So getting back to the EVP of your girlfriend, when you heard it, did you feel any kind of change in the energy around the room, or?
Yeah, I felt at peace.
Okay. Did it get colder or anything warmer? Or?
No, it just like saying I'm feel at peace.
Awesome. Well, have a good day back at work. Hope you have a good rest of your afternoon. Hope everybody's doing good today. Adam's here talking about some experiences that he's had. What else can you share with us?
Well, I was helping my neighbor building a deck, and I do not know what I saw. I think it was like a little like UFO or orb or something like that, starting shooting like something at me, and I was freaked out. I was like pale white as a ghost.
Really?
And
do you feel? I mean, you've obviously had quite a number of experiences. Do you feel that you have a connection or something?
I think so, but a lot of stuff has been happening. A lot of stuff has been falling in my house. A lot of paranormal stuff that I cannot explain.
At your house? That's kind of scary. Like what else happened at your house?
Just a lot of, like, I think poltergeist, just like things falling and nothing's on the floor.
Really? Have you ever had someone come in and cleanse your house, or?
No. I don't use my ghost hunting equipment on my phone and my iPad.
Okay. I mean, it might be. I mean, has anything really evil happened
No,
to you
we
at
have
home?
like those like crucifix up in our house.
Okay. Yeah. What state are you in again?
Maryland in Princeton.
Okay, out east that way. So I mean, you might want to look into having a priest come out and cleanse your house or something if things get too out of control for you. And I would hate for that situation to get bad. So you said you've been watching the paranormal for quite some time. What are some of your favorite ghost hunters or shows that you watched?
Ghost Adventures with Zach Baggins.
Mm-hmm.
And Ghost Hunters with Jason Hawes.
Yeah.
And also I watch Destination Fear and like all these like other paranormal shows like about werewolves and stuff.
Yeah, those are all pretty cool. I love watching those. But I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm usually just watching it for the information, and then once they start their ghost hunting, I kind of turn it off. Get the history of the place, and then I kind of turn it off. To me, that's a little bit too sensationalized. But Pam has a question for you. Have you ever had a near-death experience?
Yes, that's a hard one, and I don't feel like talking about it.
Okay, that's fine. Certainly don't want to you to do anything you don't feel comfortable doing, so I respect that. You've mentioned a lot of ghost encounters. Have you had any kind of dogman, Bigfoot?
I want to see Bigfoot and Dogman, but I've seen ghosts and stuff, but not Dogman or Bigfoot yet.
Any UFO experiences or anything?
Yes, I did once. It was like in my bedroom window in Jamestown, and I don't know what I saw. I was like tired in the middle of the night. That happened.
Yeah. What can you explain that a little bit more?
It was, I can't really sure, but it was like an alien or something, and peeking out of the window of the object, that's fine. It was just hovering next to my window, and then I
About
was
how close do you think the object was to your window?
very close so that I can see it, and I could see the being waving at me.
Really? What did he look like?
It was white and with black eyes, black slanted eyes up and big.
Kind of like that.
Yes.
Interesting. And when was this?
Back in 1995, I think.
95.
Mm-hmm.
Anything since then?
No.
Wow, that's cool. I mean, before you started watching these Ghost Adventures and seeing this alien in 95, did you ever believe in this kind of stuff?
Yes, I mostly believe in the afterlife. And all the
What about the aliens?
not at first when I first saw it, now I'm starting to believe.
I mean, there's been so many reports, and as big my theory is, as big as this universe is, it's got to be there's got to be some other kind of intelligent life form out there. One, might be human looking, it might be bug looking, but there's got to be some kind of intelligent life here. So, but
I've heard like Bigfoot. A lot of people are saying Bigfoot came from UFOs.
that's a theory. I've heard that, and I mean it could very well be. I mean, they travel. Some of the stories that I've heard, they travel so fast from say point A to point B. Could they be going through a portal of some kind? Could they be? There's also been reports about UFO activity around them. So could they be linked? Possible.
Have you ever seen Bigfoot?
I have not. I know many people, and I'm friends with many people that have. I mentioned Greg Ogles. He's going to have he has one documentary out. There's going to be a second one coming out as they're hunting for Bigfoot. And the first.
What do you mean by hunting? By killing them or just studying them?
Studying them, looking for them. I haven't.
Yes, a lot of people are out there trying to kill them. I do not like.
Yeah, and where I'm sure these Bigfoot don't live forever, and there's been reports of Bigfoot many years back. Where do these Bigfoot go when they die? Where their bodies go? No one's found that I know of. They're hunting with the cameras in their eyes and not trying to kill anything. So it's gotten really windy.
I've heard a lot of Bigfoot lives around where I'm at.
Up in the east, yeah, up in Pennsylvania, here is also a big hotspot for Bigfoot. So, any other stories that you would like to share with us today, Adam?
No, not that I can think of right now. But I'll let you know.
Will do. Yeah, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you for sharing your stories with us.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Thanks, Adam.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, that was Adam. I talked with him a little while ago and kind of exchanged emails with him, and glad he was able to come on. That one story he didn't want to share information about, which is totally fine. I don't want anybody to come on here and be uncomfortable and share stories that they don't want to share. So Anybody else want to? I posted the link in the chat if anybody else wants to come on. If not, I'm going to try and do this show kind of like an impromptu fun show. Saturdays or Tuesday. Okay, so Tuesdays and Wednesdays are my Saturday and Sunday. My days off from work. So if and you know, as long as the weather's nice, I'm undercover here. So if it rains out, we can still do this. Might have to move closer to the house. So hey, it looks like Greg might be coming. But anyway, keep it fun. Hope everybody is doing good. I know there's a bunch of storms coming through the country. We're supposed to get storms tonight. Who was it that said that they had storms? I'm on a different computer. I actually found this. I had this laptop when I was doing travel. I used to be a travel agent. And found this one, so I don't have a laptop. I have a desktop inside where I do the shows from. This one here, I'm able to go about and do that. Who said they were in recovery mode? Pam, yeah, Pam. Where are you at, Pam? Hope everything is fine now. Thanks, Pam. Said she loves the show idea, and you know, the stories don't have to be paranormal. It's a paranormal show. My wife doesn't like me calling this a paranormal patio, but I'll call it paranormal patio. So Pam said she's in eastern South Dakota. Okay, be safe out there. I've never traveled to the Dakotas, and I've always wanted to go out that way. Shared my story. I'm good. Mickey. Hey, that's fine. That's fine. Mini greenhouse to sit in. So less than the wind sounds. Yeah, it would. I don't have a mini greenhouse and I can't afford to build one. Plus the homeowners association here won't let us have one. So. But we have. I'm going to take the camera off. Sure. There you go. Can you hear me? Hope you all can hear me. So, try to do this. I'm undercover here. So if it rains, although it is getting pretty darn windy out. There's a fireplace behind. We had this built a little while back. Actually, they finished it this year. No, last year. End of last year. So I figured, you know, beautiful day outside. I'm off. Let's have some fun. So, alrighty, guys. Yeah, there is a bad storm brewing. I hear we're gonna get some spot thunderstorms. Excuse me. This afternoon. Got my grass cut yesterday, so I'm good. My son has a neighbor's yard cut, so part of the it says wind sounds are part of the ambiance. You know what? I should come out here during a thunderstorm. That's kind of cool. Hear the rain hitting the roof a little bit. Oh, there's Greg. I got Greg on here. Hang on a second, Greg. Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing, Paul?
Doing good. Doing good. Thanks for coming on today.
Oh, no worries. No worries.
Excuse me. You got me all choked up, dude.
Yep.
So what are you doing today? You working on your film?
Actually, today off, so just enjoying the day. I'm about to head out and go fishing in a little bit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm
nice.
gonna try trout, maybe bass or crappie or whatever might be biting. You know, that's the whole art of fishing.
You know, I'm not a fisherman at all. I went fishing a couple times when I was a kid. Um, but it never really stuck to me. So I love eating seafood, though. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's one of my favorite pastimes.
yeah.
Ironically, I used to fish so much. That's kind of what got me into the paranormal. I'd gotten tired of hunting and fishing, but yeah, I needed like a diversion, to kind of, because my job's very stressful. You just gotta get your mind off of what you do. So.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, my uncle fished. I know quite a few fishermen, and just sitting out on the water, just calmly, fishing and just sitting there enjoying the breeze or the water or whatever. I would go just to sit in the boat,
Oh gosh, yeah, I love riding in a boat. But it's a big hassle. Hooking up to the boat, driving it all the way to the lake, and you spend $18,000 in gas. If I had a boat, I would probably have it docked at one of the docking, one of the stationary docks on the lake somewhere. I think that would be ideal right there. But anyway, I was kind of wanting to share from my last two escapades out into the land between the lakes. Yes.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So for those that haven't seen me on any other shows, we went. The second film is going to be featuring the land between the lakes, and there's a bunch of people that was there. However, Adam Davies is one of them. So when we first got there, we were like driving around the land between the lakes, and it's a huge area. It really is. It's big. And we were saying, this is such a serene place. I mean, we didn't feel like there was anything that was, menacing or bad or, anything about the place. Right.
Right.
And until we went out that night. And when we went out that night, we kept an open mind about everything. Right.
Yeah.
We didn't expect anything. So, we went out and filming our investigation, and we had a caravan of like 3 trucks. So there was several people there. However, we split up into 2 groups, and my group was the one doing the filming. It was going to be our small group that was going to be filming our small group, and we were getting all of our film gear and audio and everything else ready at the back of my truck. And all of a sudden I heard this either huff, growl, I don't know exactly what to call it. It's a kind of thing, and hey, what was that? Kind of first dismissed it, and then it did it again. It was a little bit closer. And I was like, hey, did y'all hear that? Everybody else was like, what was that? And then all of a sudden it did it again. It was much closer. And it must have zapped my buddy Brent. He's in our film group, and he's essentially my editor and all. Yeah. He just had a terror attack. No, I mean, it was even more than a panic attack. It was a terror attack. He wanted to run, physically just run away. And, he's just, hey, we got to get out here. Grabbing hold of him. And I'm like, Brent, calm down, buddy. This is why we're here. We're here for this type of encounter. Because we didn't want, the last film, we didn't really show Bigfoot as being harmful or potentially harmful or anything like that. So we heard so many stories of, potential harm that we wanted to show what an intense encounter would be. Careful what you ask for,
Yeah.
No, seriously. I mean, the last time it growled, you could feel it inside your, like I compare it to being real close to a fireworks show when when the fireworks go off and you could feel them inside your body. Right.
Right.
I would compare it to that. You could, every time this thing growled, you could feel it. and it just freaked him out. So finally, we got him under control, and this thing is still growling the whole time. And it's a yeah, and it's lit. I'm at the back of the truck, and it's literally right in front of my truck, right in front of it. And how do I know? Because I saw it. I saw it from, it's a Chevy Silverado, and it's probably 6.5 foot tall, something like that. And I could still, and I'm standing at the back of the truck, and I could see from like the bottom of its chest all the way up. And this thing is just standing there looking at us. And for a minute, it what seemed like an eternity, I was kind of in shock, just saying like, wow, there it is. Now, keep in mind, it's there's no moon out. It's pitch black. And I had been looking into, I was already recording at this time. And, I was recording everything going on, and my night vision still is not the best, but I could still see hair and the outline and everything. And once I come to my senses, I'm like, oh, I got a camera. So I tried to put my camera up. And unfortunately, it's a short range camera, and I'm still going over the footage. So I don't know if we got it on the actual image of it on film or not. Mm-hmm. And if I do, I wouldn't tell right at this point.
Right.
But anyway, it moved from in front of our truck over to the wood line, which was probably about 30, 40 yards. And the blink of an eye. Yeah, I mean, it was just incredibly, inhumanly fast. And Adam Davies' military training kicked in. He's like getting us together and kind of grouping us real tight so that we're not going to be. He says we're not going to be put down by this thing. We're going to put it back. And every time we would take a step forward, if this thing would growl. You would take a step forward and go, and it would growl. We'd take another step forward, and it would growl. And, it got to a point to where it was not backing up at all. And we're like, I don't know if we want to take any more steps forward, right?
Don't blame you.
Yeah. And, we're sort of at a stalemate. And then all of a sudden a rock comes from my left, from a different angle. And I kind of looked back at our security and like, hey, I got a rock thrown. He's like, yeah, it looks like they're flanking us. I told Adam, and he just was amazed because these things was flanking us. It's like a military tactic. And so we call our other group over to us, and only when there's like roughly 10 people there did this thing like move further back into the woods. And at that point, inexplicably, both of our cameras, Brent, he finally got his faculties about him, and he started filming too. So we've got two cameras. Hoping we got something really, really good on this. But anyway, the sequence is absolutely fabulous. But anyway, so the batteries on our cameras die, right? So. We're like, okay, well, I mean, this encounter was just off the chain, and there was somebody that was with us that got sick. And as some of our attending to the person that got sick, we wanted to, we thought it necessary to leave for this person's benefit. So I'm standing in front of the truck, looking for footprints, right? And I think to myself, I was like, I'm still around. So I growl myself, right? And I go, and sure enough, I hear from the woods, and about this time, Brent is walking up to me, and you hear these 3 stomps, this boom, boom, boom. I mean, really loud stomps. And Brent's like, I look over to him and I said, did you hear that? He said, yeah, something stomped. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it again. We're repeating this experiment. So I go, just growl again, and sure enough, it stomps again. But this time it's much closer. Much. Yes. And Brent looks over at me. He's like, hey, I don't think you need to do this anymore. And I'm like, I'm like, for once, I agree with you, Brent. Let's go back to the back the truck where everybody else is, and let's stop this foolishness.
Put a little bit of distance between you and the Bigfoot, or
Yeah,
whatever it is.
Truck there.
Yeah.
But that was, all of this is going to be at our second film, and it is except for the last part, because our batteries were, and we had terrible troubles with cameras and batteries there. But it's par for the course when doing this kind of work. Every time you go out and you're around some of this paranormal stuff, you get battery drain, weird stuff happening, quite often.
Yeah.
But we went back a couple of days later, and the place was completely different. There was not a heavy feel to it. It was very serene. And there was no activity whatsoever there except for hogs. But I saw some hogs, and it's like, oh, time to leave. And things are dangerous. So anyway, we left there and went to another cemetery. And man, these orbs showed up, and these orbs was just off the chain there. And what I mean by off the chain, I mean they, and we have these on camera too. These orbs are fabulous, and what makes it so significant about these being on camera this time is that we used our full camera, and you're able to see the color of them. It's a full color camera, night vision camera. So you're able to see the color of these orbs. And at one time, there's more than one. And, you can hear Adam, this was the first time he had ever seen orbs, right? So you can, hear him saying, oh, look, they're dancing. No, it was a magnificent encounter. And, but one of the I'd seen there, and it's at the same place, but I saw light in the wood, and it was different from orbs. I was like, there's a light out there. And I moved to a different vantage point, and I'm like, it was kind of a white yellow light. I moved to a little bit different vantage point, and then I can see the source light. And I kid you not, it is a rectangle. It is a rectangle. It's got just 90-degree corners and everything on it. And I'm like, dang, is that a window or something that I'm looking at? And then all of a sudden it vanished. It just whoop, went out. Keep in mind, in the middle of the woods. But I had never been there before. I thought, well, is there a cabin, 50 feet out in the woods here? But, that was not the case. But a few minutes later, this orb starts to approach us from where that light was. So and there was another person that saw it too. Her name's Kathy. But anyway, what I'm trying to, figure out about that was that I actually see a portal, so I'm kind of trying to wrap my head around that.
I mean, it certainly does sound like it. And, since you brought that up, I wanted to ask you, you've obviously hunted these things for quite a while. Mm-hmm. The moving so fast, taking up what you say, 30, 40 yards in a blink of an eye or whatever.
Yeah. How
do you explain that? I mean, do you think that it traveled through a portal somehow, or what do you think?
I don't know. And I'm trying to wrap my head around that too. Because I saw it move, but it was, when I say it was gone, it was gone. It was like a second and a half. It was over in the woods.
Yeah.
And it was, I can't explain that. It moved unnaturally fast. I will say that. I don't know that I had quite enough data to determine whether or not it was like moving like through a portal from here to there. Because I didn't see any other light or anything else that would suggest that.
Yeah.
but I will say that it moved unnaturally fast, and it was unnaturally big. 8, 9 feet tall, between 8 and 9.
Yeah, I mean, 9 feet tall, moving 40 yards in a blink. Well, blink of an eye are pretty darn quick. I mean, that's I can see it moving quick, but that's pretty darn quick for 8 to 9 foot tall.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's probably maybe the second half. It was just over there.
Yeah.
But it was. At first, we thought that this was a very aggressive encounter with and it didn't look like a dog man. I could see its head clearly. At least the shape of its head, and it did not have any kind of ears or anything sticking up. It looked very much like a classic Bigfoot. So, having said that, I didn't see the face. I could see the hair and the outline of this because it's very, very dark, right? And I kind of lost my point. That's what happens when you. But anyway, getting back, I thought this was an aggressive encounter. However, in retrospect, seeing how fast this thing moved, and given that there was, it could have come and gotten us at any time, and I don't think there was anything we could have done about it. So again, I'm at first I thought it was very aggressive, but maybe we misinterpreted that as, I don't know, maybe it was playing, or I don't know what it was doing, but I do know that it scared the bejesus out of my buddy. I mean, when you see it, you're gonna say, "Oh my God, he was a terror." But really, looking back on it, I don't know if it was actually being aggressive or not.
I mean, like you said, and I apologize for the wind and stuff. I'm trying to mute my mic when I'm not talking, so I'm not cutting out Greg. Because it's getting kind of windy here. See, now I lost my point.
It happens.
Oh man, I had a great question. I completely. Oh, maybe it saw you guys. Maybe I obviously didn't know what you were doing, but it sounds like it could have been playing with you since. Sorry, a dump truck just drove by. Since it didn't attack you. I mean, it was just kind of maybe teasing you, or maybe you were encroaching on its space or something, and it wanted to let you know that, hey, look, if you go, 10 more feet, you're going to get it.
Right. And it very well could have been. I mean, because like I said, there was classic rock throwing from a different direction. Yeah, I've experienced that before, and it's a distraction tactic. And sometimes they throw rocks at you just to get a rise out of you, And if you ignore it, it continues on and continues on. But as soon as you acknowledge it, it typically stops. And, we acknowledged it then. And, it was only one rock that was thrown and it stopped. So, that suggests to me that there was more than one there. Because there was one in front of us and one off to our left. And if there's two there, then I know that there was nothing that we could have done to have stopped these things. We were armed. However, I just seeing how big this thing was, I don't think we had the firepower to do anything about it. So, I just think they were playing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I've heard a few stories. One in particular from Ernie Davio. His experience was he was hunting, and I guess there was a ridge or something that he couldn't see two other Bigfoot on the opposite side, but his Bigfoot that he saw was to his left. And it almost looked like they were hunting together, and the two were attacking a deer or something, and possibly getting it to flee in front of this other one. And it was sitting there waiting to pounce. So yeah, I mean, it does sound like they hunt together. They have some kind of hunting tactic, or they communicate somehow. And you know, and a lot of the things stories that I hear involve throwing rocks that are huge.
Yeah,
just to scare you.
Sometimes they throw big rocks, and sometimes most of the time they throw something very small. You know, the only time I've experienced a couple of times where something very large was thrown, and one of the times it was really just both the times it was to get our attention. One time we were leaving a place and there was a log thrown. We actually saw the log being thrown. So and this was in the middle of the day because that's how we saw it. And we were like, "Hey, man, you know, you didn't do anything this whole time while we were here, and now that we're leaving, you want to try to get our attention, and so you know want us to stay here for a while, you know, because we're like their CNN or you know, their Travel Channel or whatever, you know. Hey, look at the humans, but you know,
hey, watch what we can do to the humans. Watch this.
Yeah. You know, that was one time, and it was a giant log too. It was huge, and it was a log because it was broken on both ends. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a tree that fell.
Yeah.
This was broken on both ends. So
and it was something that a human, somebody like you or me, couldn't do by themselves. Yeah.
No, absolutely not. It was a very large log. And the second time is we were looking at what we thought was a Bigfoot or something on FLIR, and it started from a different direction. We had stuff being thrown at us, and it started off small, very, very small, you know, pebble size. And we're like, hey, don't take that FLIR off what we're looking at because, you know, it's a distraction tactic. And, you know, progressively things got bigger and bigger until it was, a fairly large log. Not like the one that I had previously described, but it was a fairly large log. And we took the FLIR off of the subject for just a second as it stood up, by the way. And, you know, as it stood up, you could see everything, you know, face, hands, arms, legs, everything. And as it stood up, you know, the FLIR was turned toward where the log was to make sure it wasn't a bear. And once it was confirmed it wasn't a bear, which was only like a second or so, and turned right back to where it was gone. So again, something moved incredibly fast, you know, and likewise, both times I didn't hear it move off. You know, I didn't hear it move off at the Land Between the Lakes, and I didn't hear it move off at that situation either. So I think they can move very silently when they want to.
And it's amazing something that big and powerful can be so silent moving through the woods and everything.
Well, it is, and I don't know if you guys have seen The Legend of the Downey Booker yet. But while we were filming that, we're actually seeing an orb, and we're filming this orb, right? Because you know we didn't catch any Bigfoot, so we thought on film. So we were at least going to try to catch something, and we saw these orbs quite often. So we're actually filming this orb, and when we get back in post production, we see this thing crawling between us and this orb. And when I say crawling, it looks like the Bigfoot spider crawl. It looks identical to that. And the object is huge, but we didn't hear it. We didn't see it. So whatever it was extremely silent. And it was very, very close to us as well. You know, the orb was probably, 30, 40 yards away. And this thing was in between us. But I would say at 15 yards or less.
You know, that's a little unsettling. You're seeing something that close. Mm-hmm. Well, you're not even seeing it that close.
Yeah, we didn't see it. We didn't know it was there.
Wow. Yeah. That's crazy. Freaky had a quick question about the boulders. I didn't realize I just touched that. Some of these large rocks, could they be considered boulders?
I haven't seen any boulders being thrown. But however, some of that large log that I first described, it would be as heavy as a boulder. It probably weighed 400 or 500 pounds. It was absolutely huge. Now, do I think they would have any trouble picking up a boulder? Absolutely not. Not at all. I don't think, as big as this thing was that was in front of the truck, I would compare it to the size of an elk. I mean, this thing was huge, absolutely huge. So something that's, say roughly 8.5 foot tall, you're talking something, 600-700 pounds itself. And it's probably got the strength of, I don't know, 20 people. Yeah, they have no trouble picking up a boulder at all.
Wow. So, college football recruiters, hey, take note.
Yeah.
That could be your offensive line.
Footers. Go get the Bigfoots. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. But, the whole thing about, are they coming in and out of portals? I'm leaning much, much, much more toward yes, they are. Are they flesh and blood? Yeah, I think at least at some point in time they are, because they leave tracks. You can hear them. So yeah, at some point they are flesh. However, some of the things that I have seen personally is leaning me toward they have abilities that we don't. And I actually think that they may be coming in and out of our dimension at will. And they're able to traverse from one place to another at will. They might not necessarily even have to move like you and I do. So their method of locomotion may be completely different. And for them to off, or for them to be gone, and you don't hear nor see anything, and they're here 1 second and over 40 yards away another. That's inhuman fast.
That theory really rings true to me. I really believe that. I mean, as big as they are, there's still no way that they can get 50 yards away that fast.
Right.
And, another thing about interdimensional, have we seen dead bodies of these Bigfoot? A lot, at least. Where do they go when they pass on?
Well, I can't say that there haven't been dead bodies of them that's been found. I mean, the Smithsonian has been rumored to have skeletons of giants, all throughout, the United States history, and particularly when they dug up the mounds. There was bodies of giants found. Were these giants Bigfoots? Now is a different story. But who's to say they even die here? Maybe they die in their other realm. That could explain why you never find a dead body.
And that could also explain a lot of missing persons.
It very well could. Like I said, I don't want to say that all these Bigfoots are all cuddly. Maybe some of them are. Maybe some of them aren't. Maybe they're just like people are. And I think that maybe there's different types of them too. I mean, you got these dogmen sightings. Are these things, are they related? Do they come from the same realm? You kind of see where I'm going with this. If they come from the same realm, do they communicate or work together? Or do they have the same temperament? Do they compete against each other? There's so much we don't know about this.
Maybe like you said, they're like humans. Some of us are really good people who wouldn't hurt a fly. Right. Others, have no problem doing it. Right. Maybe the dog man is the bad version of this species or whatever.
Could be.
I mean,
Could be. And, really all I know is the more we go out and start to investigate and study these things, the more questions I have. I never expected to see orbs because I'd never even heard of orbs before until I saw one. I had seen a ghost. I'd never seen a ghost until I started doing this. And while out bigfooting, I saw a ghost. We saw an Indian on a horse appear, and Janice and I both saw it. It rode through a field, got to the tree line, disappeared. Well, and one of the reasons why I asked Adam, did he compare, translucency, is that's what we did when we were there. Brent didn't see it, so we sent him over to where we saw the ghost, right? To see how solid he would look compared to the ghost.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
So,
poor guy.
Hey, can you walk over there for us for a minute? But
why do I have a feeling that if I were to ever go out with you, I'd be the one being sent out that way?
Say, hey, Paul, we saw something over there. Can you go over there and kind of verify that for us? Yeah.
You know what? I got to go to the bathroom real quick. Let me do that first.
Yeah. But, we did that for a reason, because we did an opacity comparison. And, from what we saw and the way Brent looked to us, it apparently was very solid. So, I mean, like solid, because I remember seeing it had on like buckskin pants, no shirt, like a little feather in the something in the back of its head, kind of sticking up. Maybe I assume it was a feather, and hands like up on with on the reins and just rode out. So.
I when I hear Bigfoot stories, I often picture Chewbacca looking like being, and I almost wonder if George Lucas had something there. I mean, if he intentionally made Chewbacca that looked like Bigfoot or something like that. I don't know.
That's the rumor, that he actually made Chewbacca, from a description of Bigfoot. So that's the rumor, though.
Maybe I'll try and get him on sometime.
Yeah, ask George Lucas to come on and see where Chewbacca come from.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. We do have a question here. Pam wanted to ask, going back to the interdimensional, why do they like our dimension so much? Do we offer something more? Who really knows? I mean, maybe they're studying us. Maybe that's why Bigfoot's here studying us. Maybe that's why UFOs are looking at us. I mean, what do you think?
I mean, there's a whole plethora of reasons. Maybe there's more food here than there is there. Maybe they're studying us. Maybe they go and spend more time in other realms other than their own. Maybe they can't help but cross over into this realm, because our dimensions are so close to each other. There's a whole plethora of reasons. But I kind of lean more toward they come here to hunt.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking maybe some of us look more delicious than others in their realm.
Yeah,
I mean that could be it too.
Yeah, maybe when we go out, I need to put like a pork chop necklace on Brent.
That poor guy. And note to self, I'm never going out with you guys.
Oh, it's not all that bad, Paul.
No, but I have another question here that we had at the beginning. When your show comes out, and by the way, you're going to be at the Alabama Bigfoot Conference in Anniston.
Sure. Yeah.
You will be showing a trailer for this, correct?
I sure will. There will be debut trailer.
So those of you that are in chat, you are lucky if you're going to the Bigfoot Conference. I unfortunately am not. But will this trailer be available after the conference on YouTube or something?
Absolutely will. Yeah, after we debut it at the Alabama Bigfoot Conference, we'll make it available on YouTube.
And then
it'll probably be on my Facebook page as well.
Okay. And then, if memory serves me, this is coming out in December. The full movie's coming out in December, correct?
We plan to have the movie complete. I cannot speak for distribution purposes, but like, for instance, if we pitch it to Travel Channel and they happen to pick it up, you know, they'll air it whenever they want to. If we go the same route we did with the Downy Booger, it took maybe 6 weeks or so for it to go live. You know, once it got uploaded, they have to do a whole lot of licensing and things like that to be able to show the film, or to be able to distribute it to the different platforms. So there's we still haven't figured out what route we want to take. I suspect that, you know, because of the content in this film, that it's going to be 5-10 times better than the Downy Booger. Now we've used, you know, better equipment, better cameras, better audio. So that aspect is going to be, you know, 10 times better. That much I know. The content is going to be much better because, you know, we've got UFOs in it. We've got Estes method stories in it. We've got I've got these eyes that you can see in my full spectrum camera. And we've got this, we've got orbs, we've got this Bigfoot encounter. You know, it's going to be chock full of action in it, you know, and just evidence, just chock full of it. So just on that aspect alone, it's going to be much, much better than Booger was. And because we know more about filmmaking than we did when we first started, I have to say we knew zero about filmmaking when we first started. You know, we know what we're doing now, and we can. You learn from your first, right? So we've learned from some of our mistakes, and we've corrected a lot of that. And we just think that this one's going to be very entertaining, very informative, and, you know, full of action. You know, when I say action, you know, it's, you'll get to come along with us on some of our investigations, and you get to see what we see. You know, so I'm very optimistic about this film. Very, very optimistic.
You know, I don't watch movies that much. I don't watch TV shows other than YouTube programming and stuff like that. But I have to say, this is one of my most anticipated movies coming out. I've heard, I've seen you and Chad. You've mentioned it. Other people have mentioned it. From what you've said today, this thing is going to blow the roof off, and I think it's just going to be phenomenal. And I wish you the very best of luck with this. And it sounds like it's just going to be fantastic.
Well, thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on again.
Oh, sure. I appreciate you clicking that link. I really enjoyed this. And anytime I'm doing this, if you want to come on in and tell some stories, you know, feel free to come on in. If you're off.
Well, I don't want to monopolize all your time. I mean, I can really talk, Paul.
I'm off today.
So, but anyway, I just don't want to monopolize all your time. I mean, I'll come on from time to time. But you sometimes you're just going to have to shut me up. Well, I promise. I love talking about this stuff.
I can control your mute button, I think.
Oh.
All right, Greg. I really appreciate you coming on. This has been fantastic, and everybody in chat. A lot of familiar names from other shows. Guys, make sure that you are, if you're going to Anniston, you'll see the trailer before everybody else does. But if not, you will certainly see it. Just keep an eye out. I'll certainly post a link to it. If you wouldn't mind sharing that.
No.
And then once it comes out, or you have an idea of when it's going to come out and where, I'll promote the hell out of it for you, and it's going to be great. And guys, mark your calendars for sometime in December or thereafter. It'll be a great Christmas present for all of us. So, and again, Greg, thanks for all you do with capturing this stuff. I mean, it's just unbelievable. It's fun.
Yeah, it is. It is a lot of fun. It takes a long time to make these because what we do is real. We don't set anything up. We don't. There's other shows out there that you have to kind of take with a grain of salt. So, but everything you see with us is real, and it takes us a long time to make these because a lot of times when we go out, there's nothing happening. It's just like, do. You're sitting in the woods and nothing's happening. You're doing these stupid calls, and if anybody's going by, they're like, "What are these idiots doing?" So it just to get real content, it takes a long time. So I hope everybody's patient with us. So when we make these, I hope they appreciate how long it really takes us to make these, and for them to be real.
And the filming part is just one small aspect of it. It's the post-production that is very, very time consuming. And I got a lot of experience with editing and stuff. And even editing before I started doing more live shows, even editing just a normal hour and a half show, it took a day or two. And you guys all have other jobs, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is no easy task for everybody.
Yeah, we're weekend warriors at it. So while Brent's off, his job, luckily he does for a living. He edits for a living. He works at a TV station, and that he's very good at what he does. I, on the other hand, am an engineer and know nothing about any of that. So it's really one person doing the editing, although we do get together, collaborate. I do have an artsy kind of mind. I'm like, hey, let's do this, that, have this kind of transition, or do, so I kind of know what something should look like. However, I don't get too involved in the editing because I don't like to step on his toes because that's his department. He does all of that. So, but other than, just adding some artsy stuff into it, I kind of stay off the editing.
The technical geek part of me, what is he editing on? Do you know?
Adobe Premiere.
Okay. I do all mine on Final Cut Pro. Mm-hmm. Somehow I got a copy of that, and I love doing that stuff. It's fun. So yeah. But all right, well, when did that convention? Boy, I can't talk all of a sudden. The convention is June, correct?
Yeah, 7th and 8th.
Okay, June 7th and 8th, and I know a few people in the chat. I believe War might be going to that. War Criminal, you might be going to that, so you'll get to see it. Mm-hmm. If not, the rest of us will have to wait and see it afterwards. Yeah. So, Greg, thanks again for coming on. It's been Fisher's going too, so it's been fun. You're welcome on this channel anytime, my friend. So, all right, guys, and hey, guys, I really appreciate, and Chris is going too. Chris is there too. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys coming on. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to try and make this a regular thing either on a Tuesday or Wednesday. Next Tuesday, Wednesday, I don't know when I'll get on. Probably Wednesday. Tuesday, I'll be out of town, I think. So, but we'll see. I might do something from the car and really annoy my wife. So anyway, everybody have a great day. If you have storms coming up, I hope you guys are all safe. And we will see you again. Remember, this Saturday, I have, get my notes. Ava Venari's coming on, who's an exorcist. It'll be a fun interview. So stay tuned for that on Saturday. Anyway, everybody, take care. Have a great day. We will see you very soon. Let me find the outro. All right. See you, everybody.